Hey everybody, and welcome to the Bullshit Party. And in this one we're gonna be taking the GTB down to Benny's. Is it gonna be worth it for the new podium car or not? Let's find out. And for those of you who are not aware, there's a first part of this video and I'll put it right here, so you have some context on what I'm talking about. But for the rest of you, you probably saw the video and you saw that I went to Los Santos Customs to customize this week's podium vehicle. We took an in-depth look of it, both the exterior and the interior, customized it and maxed out all its performance options. But what we didn't do is go to Benny's and customize it there. As you can see, it's listed in Benny's website and it's one of those vehicles that can become a custom car. And the benefit of doing that is, on top of a little bit of a performance upgrade, is you can customize the car further. So I'm actually very excited to compare the customization we did in Los Santos Customs yesterday and the one that we're gonna do in Benny's today. So with that said, let's get going. And as we start making our way to Benny's, I just want to share a few things that I noticed with the car when I drove it today again with the streets being dry. The first thing that jumped out at me was that it had very good grip. I did mention it yesterday, but I can't stress enough how good this car feels to drive. It feels stable and solid, and basically every crash you're gonna have with this car is because you can't drive. That one doesn't count. It's stable yet playful at the same time, so I'm very excited to see if we're gonna get a performance bump from customizing the car at Benny's. And if you're watching this video in the week it was released, this is the podium car of the week, which basically means that you can get it for free if you spin the lucky wheel and land on the vehicle space during this week. If you don't know how to do that, make sure you check out my channel. I made a tutorial on how to do so. And the big moment? Let's get in. After taking care of the damage that we did to the car, on our way here, it's time to upgrade the car to the Italy GTB Custom. And for those of you who want to do this, it costs $495,000. And if you'd purchase the car at its regular price, you're looking at 1.8 so far. That's without any upgrades, any performance options. I gotta say, the car definitely doesn't look bad, but let's see what else we can do to it. And just a quick check to see if all the performance options transferred from the original version, and yes, they did. And as we're taking a look at the extensive selection of front bumper options, I just want to say something about the car itself. Unlike the original GTB, which was based on the McLaren 570S, this custom version of the GTB is based on the McLaren 650S. And with that awesome piece of information out of the way, let's go back to customizing the car. And if you remember from the original video, I was very impressed by the customization options we had for the GTB. They weren't a lot, but they were very good in my opinion. So far what I see here at Benny's is more of the same. Just good, solid, cool looking customization options. And something to be said here, unlike the recently released cars that can be modified at Benny's, where you basically have to sell your entire family in order to afford them and to customize them, here so far the prices are very reasonable. But that's on top of the $500,000 we paid in when we came in, so I'd say it's a wash. As you're watching this, keep in mind that this is a car released in 2017. The level of customization we have here is absolutely excellent. And if you're paying attention to the video, I'm sure you caught it, but for the rest of you, you can see that some elements aren't stock on my car. That's because I previously customized it in Los Santos Customs and some of the things carried over. I think it's a pretty cool detail, but I also think that most people aren't gonna do what I did, which is basically spend money to customize the car twice. And talking about things that I'm not gonna spend money on is the interior. And as you can see, the nice Alcantara is replaced by this plasticky looking thing. Unless you want to upgrade it, of course. But since I don't use the cars in first person or play the game in first person at all, I don't see the point in it. But I am making a video, so here are all the options that you can waste your money on. This whole interior section actually got me thinking. I want you guys to tell me in the comment section down below, do you play in third person or in first person? Am I the odd one out here? And talking about odd things, here are some seats that belong in a Supra as opposed to a McLaren. In all of my time playing GTA Online, I felt like there was something missing. I just never thought the thing that I was missing is customizing the steering wheel. Or maybe that wasn't it, maybe it's changing the color of the gauges. Yeah, and you know what, Rockstar? I played Need for Speed Most Wanted as well. It's a great game, but it's not 2005 anymore. At least the gauges don't cost an arm and a leg. And the last thing we can customize in the interior is adding a roll cage to a McLaren. But other than the stupid roll cage, I think the car so far looks very good. So of course I want to destroy that and see what livery options we have here. And if you've seen my videos before, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of liveries. But I'm making a video and I wanted to show everything and yada yada yada. Ooh, this one looks cool. And actually most of the liveries look cool, but I don't really see the point in spending money for this. Especially since they're so expensive. Oops. What? Haven't you seen a hypocrite before? Anyway, let's pretend that didn't happen and move on. Something interesting that I want to mention about this car, neither here nor in Los Santos Customs can you adjust the height of the car. The option is just not there. I don't think I've seen this on any other car and it just feels weird, especially with those giant wheel wells. All I'm saying is I wanted to fill the gap. And you might notice that this color's car is midnight blue. And that's one of the colors that viewers actually voted on a poll that I posted on Tuesday. So if you want to be a part of next week's poll, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned to the channel. Oh, and I've been told that giving the video a like wouldn't hurt either. But back to customizing the car, as you can see we have an extensive variety on different spoiler options for the GTB. One thing that I noticed here is that the traction bar doesn't increase or decrease regardless of the spoiler you have on, or if you have a spoiler at all. And the last thing that's left for us to customize on the car are the wheels. And since I'm pretty happy with the rims, I only want to change the color of them. And I did go through most of the colors just for demonstration purposes, but I was pretty set on choosing a light color. Something like a light gray maybe. Having not driven this version of the car yet, I can't say anything about the performance of it, but the exterior is definitely winning me over. Dare I say, I may even like it better than the original. But that's me. What about you guys? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below by giving it a number, 1 being horrible, 10 being awesome, and 5 being somewhere in between. And with the custom tires on, we are absolutely done with customizing the car. And with that, it's time for a final 360 before we head out to the streets and see what the performance is like. And here we are outside, and the car is definitely easy on the ice here as well. And before we get going, I don't think we'll be needing the GPS. Who needs directions, right? This is Los Santos. We know where we're supposed to go. And for those of you who are curious about what the performance of the car is like, it's immediately evident that something has changed. The car feels as nimble as before, but the added power is definitely noticeable. It still feels very planted, you can slide it around if you want to, the brakes are still far from perfect, but they're better than before. And in case you were wondering, yes, we're still dealing with an all-wheel drive car, as you can see here. We're still working with the same weird all-wheel drive system that some of the sports cars have. And as you can see here, because of the all-wheel drive system the car has, it accelerates fairly well even after a burnout. And now to go to the main question, is it worth it to upgrade the podium car at Benny's? Well, that depends on what you're gonna use the car for. If you want to use the car for racing and actually win races, I don't think this is the best option for you, because even after the performance upgrade from Benny's, it's still nowhere near the top of its class. But if you're like me and you don't care about races, which honestly you should, and you like to drive your cars in free roam and just have fun with them, I would definitely recommend this car, even though you have to pay 500 more thousand in order to have it custom. In my eyes, the extra performance and the customization options are totally worth it, making a 9.5 out of 10 car a perfect dime. And I think with that, along with all the crashes that we've seen so far, it's time to end the video. Huh, I guess there was room for one more. Anyway, as I was saying, thank you so much to everybody who watched. Hopefully you liked what you saw, and if you did, please consider giving the video a like. You know, even if you hated it, give it a like, who cares? If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, a lot more cool stuff to come in the future. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hey, I can see my house from here!